What's going on, guys? One love out to everybody. We got UFC 271, Adesanya versus Whittaker Part 2, predictions, breakdown, guys. Before I get started, subscribe to this channel and hit the thumbs up button so these videos can get out. Also, check out my Patreon account for all the face-off predictions and the prop bets. Also, you can donate to this channel by hitting the PayPal link down below. It's optional. It will help to make the channel grow and give me more time, more flexibility to be able to work on the channel and make better prediction videos and get them out even earlier. Alright, let's jump into this and knock these fights out real quickly but accurately. Alright, first fight here, we got William Knight versus Maxine Grishin. I believe William Knight missed weight, I believe, like 12 pounds, but I think it's a short notice for him though. But we'll see what's up though. William Knight here. William Knight here is raw power, man. This guy pack a lot of power, straightforward, heavy-handed. He has holes in his game though. His chin can be high up, especially when he's going backwards. He will actually gas out in the fight. His ground game is kind of suspect. I mean, he just raw power, man. He really forces a lot of things, especially when he's going for takedowns. He will power through all the moves, man, and he just looks to take your head off. Still a dangerous guy because he's very powerful and he pulls off wins, right? He's quick too, man. He may have the speed advantage in this fight, but it's like I said, he's still slightly kind of greenish though when it comes to the MMA. You know what I mean? There's holes. His opponent here, Grishin is going to be the more experienced guy here as far as MMA. He's going to have the 5-inch of height and the 3-inch of reach. He's way more experienced than William Knight, man. As I said, I think this is a short notice for William Knight. And Grishin is grown, striking. I mean, it's on a different level. That doesn't mean that Grishin cannot get caught by a punch. If Knight come in there and throw overhand and catch Grishin, then, you know, again, Knight missed weight by like 12 pounds. So, I mean, there's a reason why he missed weight, but like I said, it's a short notice for him. He came in there at 218. That's a lot of weight he missed. Yeah, man, I'm going to go to Grishin for this one, man. I feel Grishin is a way better fighter here. He's a more experienced, more seasoned MMA fighter. So I must say Grishin, first round KO TKO. But, you know, I'm not confident in this one because we do see Knight. You know, he come in here and just throw overhand. And he always find ways to pull the fight off, man. I mean, even though he missed weight. But, you know, somewhere or another, man, he will find a way. You know what I'm saying? Even if it goes to judges too, I mean, you never know. But I'm liking Grishin, but Grishin, first round KO TKO, I'm not confident. All right. Next fight here, guys. We have Jeremiah Wells versus Blood Diamond. Jeremiah Wells here. Very explosive guy, man. He goes for the kill, athletic, aggressive, straightforward pressure. He will tie up in the clinch, swings heavy. Can get wild at times and can get flat-footed, but he closes distance pretty quick though. Exerts a lot of energy. Seems like he will gas out though as the rounds go on, like after first round. But like I said, he covers distance quick. He leaps in, right? His opponent here though, Blood Diamond. I mean, this is Adesanya's teammate. I don't know, man. You know, he has a couple kickboxing matches. You know, from what I see from him though, man, I mean, I'm not here to disrespect any fighter or anything like that. You know, I mean, I'm just here to break the fights down and give my opinion. From what I've seen, yeah, you know, it's kind of wild with the punches. Chin can be kind of high up. Nothing really stands out to me. He throws a lot of off-balance strikes. Like he would throw his kicks and fall down, or throws his kicks and like he's turning his back, and his, you know, I watch a lot of his fights and I just nothing really stands out, man. I mean, you know. Man, I mean, that's just basically it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to really say. I mean, he throw like kicks and stuff like that, and he seems to be very athletic, but it just seems like there's holes. It's like his technique is just not as sharp. This guy here, Aj Dobson, I'm more impressed with Aj Dobson than I am, with Blood Diamond. I feel Aj Dobson, shows a little bit more than what Blood Diamond shows. I mean, in my opinion. Again, I could be wrong. But for this one here, man, I'm gonna go with Jeremiah Wells. I just feel like Jeremiah Wells is just a more experienced guy here, man. I mean, even though they're high in Blood Diamond, but man, maybe just the footage I'm seeing is kind of old or something, but I just don't see anything that really stands out, man. So I'm gonna go with Wells here. I'm gonna say Wells by a submission in the second round, and I'm not confident, man, because I mean, Wells is a little more experienced, and Blood Diamond is just not enough MMA footage for me to see, and whatever I see is just doesn't really stand out too much. The height and reach is pretty similar, so it's not like he's like massive reach. Like how Adesanya has a massive reach. I believe Adesanya has 80-inch reach. This guy's on a 74. I think Jeremiah has a longer reach. I think Jeremiah is like a 75. Yeah, have an inch longer. And the height is not even that massive much of height. It's like 5'11". So, yeah, man, I'm going to go with Jeremiah Wells. But I'm not confident. I'm going to say Jeremiah Wells by submission second round. And look on Blood Diamond, doesn't really have that much fights. It's just experience. I feel Jeremiah Wells is a more experienced guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just basically it. This is more well-rounded to me. He has more fights too, and fought. His last fight was in the UFC against Warley Alvarez, which Warley Alvarez is an experienced guy, and he beat him. I mean, he's not only beat him, he knocked him out. He ground and pounded him out. Next fight here, guys. We're going to go with Silva versus Sergi Mazurov. Silva here. Silva Andrade, BJJ black belts. He looks good in his last fight. Heavy-handed, quick. He has nice timing on him. But when he's on, but he will also drop the ball, right? He moved back down to 135 here. I don't know. He looked good against this guy called Perello, But Perello was making his debut, I believe. Or a short notice. Actually, no. He fought Simon here. Ricky Simon. So, yeah. I said, Andre is pretty quick guy. His striking is not that bad. BJJ black belt. Went back down to 135. Yep, where was it? It was at 145. Yeah. But his opponent here, Sergi. Sergi has a strong wrestling base here. He's pretty well rounded. Striking is not bad, and he's a grinder. He's gonna keep grinding. What I see from Andre though, Silva Andre can get taken down, and once you start pressuring him, he just doesn't do too well. But still, Silva Andre is still a dangerous guy. He's still quick. His timing is good. Striking is good. But I'm gonna go with Mazo here. I must say Sergio Marazzo by decision, guys. Just the grind and the wrestling. So I'll go with Sergio by decision. Not confident. Next fight here, guys. We got Jacob Macoun versus Aj Dobson. Macoun here is Whittaker's teammate. Hopefully I pronounced that right. He's a well-rounded guy. We look to wrestle. We look to grind out if he needs to, but can't get knocked out. He got knocked out in his last fight against Phil Hayes, which Phil Hayes is an experienced guy. He has boxing, but can get flat-footed at times. But he still will close distance and get into boxing range. He's gonna be the slower fighter here, though, against AJ. Aj Dobson here. He's gonna have the speed advantage. Kind of look like Cannonier here a little bit. He's got the speed advantage, 4-inch of reach, 4-inch of height, which is massive. Aggressive guy, kind of wild at times, swing, freaking for the fences, leave his chin up in the air. He would look to take you down. He has some wrestling on him too. But he's powerful with his punches though. And he's going to have the speed advantage here. But this guy here is kind of on the greenish side. I see a lot of holes in him, especially when he's striking. You know, kind of leave himself open. He kind of throws everything out like 100%. And you can see where he can get gassed out. I feel like Makon is a little bit more experienced guy here, man. A little more seasoned fighter here. If he can weather the punching power from this guy, you know, he can pull off a win here. Even by taking him down, you know, just avoid the heavy shots from AJ. I just feel like AJ, when he swings, man, he just like swings for the fences and his like chin is up in the air. He's just, there's holes in his game. He has wrestling though, and he looks like a, you know, like he has potential. But I'm gonna go with Jacob Makwan though. I'm gonna say Jacob Makwan by decision, guys, and I'm not confident because AJ does have the speed on him. And if AJ catches him with his chin, he could get knocked out like how he got knocked against Phil Hayes. So, I mean, these MMA fights, man, we know how the game go already. You know, it doesn't take much. You know, the guy could look like he'd be winning and then he get caught and then that's it. So, but I like Jacob for the win here. Jacob by decision. Not confident. Next fight here, guys. We have Ronnie Lawrence versus Mano Martinez. Lawrence here has a wrestling base, strong wrestling base on him. He will look to grind. Striking is not bad. He's a pretty well-rounded guy. I'm pretty impressed with Ronnie here. I feel he's a good fighter. He's all around. He's well-rounded. His opponent here, Martinez. Martinez is more heavy-handed. I believe he has some martial art background, maybe Kung Fu or Karate or something like that, or Taekwondo. Believe BJJ purple belt or brown belt or black belt it could be. He has 8 by knockout. So this guy, I think he has like 1 by decision. But majority of his fights are all by knockout, which is like 8. His striking is not bad. Can get wild at times. Can get taken down. But against Lawrence here, man, I'm kind of high on Lawrence. I think Lawrence is a very good fighter, man. I'm not saying that Manny is not, that he's not a good fighter too, but just stylistically, I feel that Lawrence is going to grind. He's going to avoid the strikes from Martinez, and he's going to just grind out a win here, in my opinion. I'm confident in this fight here. I'm confident in Ronnie pulling off the win, and I'm going to say Ronnie by decision, guys, and I'm confident. Yeah, this guy here, 8 by knockout, 1 by decision. So I'm going with Manny. I'm going with Ronnie Lawrence by decision, guys, and I'm confident. Next fight here, guys. We have Carlos Ulberg versus Fabio Cherant. This is the next pupil or student of Izzy. They train together. Carlos here, 3-inch of height, is a teammate, mostly kickboxing from this guy. Yeah, man. Sitting about these fights here, man, it's hard to predict them. I mean, his kickboxing, his striking is not bad, but he dropped his hand and his chin can get high at times, which we saw in his last fight against Kennedy, and he got caught. He looked like he would gas out like he did in the Kennedy fight too. His takedown defense looks okay, but it looks okay because he's not gassed out. You got decent power, striking not bad, but man, these fights are like fights like this fight here and the Blood Diamond is hard to call because the guys don't really have that much footage on them. Yeah, it's a kickboxing matches, but it's not kickboxing, it's MMA. His opponent here, Fabio. Fabio, let me see. All his wins are by submission. So this guy does mostly pull off fights by submissions only. That's it. And 2 by decision. Can get knocked out. Got knocked out in his last fight by William Knight. But man, this is a tough one to call, man. I feel that Fabio is more well-rounded. I feel Fabio is more experienced. If you look at Carlos here, yeah, he may be the better striker. But man, I just feel like Fabio is just more experienced, and Fabio can avoid getting knocked out or avoid getting touched up by Carlos in the striking department, and weather the storm and go for takedowns or even a submission. I feel that Fabio can pull the fight off, man. In my opinion, I just feel like Fabio has seen more and have done more. Even though if you look at Fabio's record, it doesn't really look that good. He lost a contender series and lost to Alonzo Menfield and lost to William Knight. But I mean, William Knight fight, yeah, he got countered by a counter hook, but it's like, I think William Knight was surprised when he got that knockout. I'm not saying it's a fluke because the hand hit his chin, but and then with Alonzo went for takedown in that fight. I'm gonna go with Fabio here, man. I'm gonna say Fabio by submission in the second round, guys, but I'm definitely not confident in this fight. All right. Next fight here, guys. We have Kyler Phillips versus Marcelo Rojo. These fights are all over the place. Gotta change up the order of it. Phillips here is pretty well-rounded guy too, man. Has I believe, karate background or taekwondo. Good striking and orthodox striking. His ground game is pretty decent. He got robbed his last fight, man. They freaking robbed them big time against the Rule and Fabio. They robbed him in that fight. Phillips also has nice movement, nice footwork. Sometimes he doesn't handle pressure too well, but he still does okay. But we can see with Fabio was pressuring him. He handled it here and there good, but I guess against the judges, it may not look too good. His opponent here, Rojo, is a pressure fighter too. Rojo has 8 by KO and 6 by submission and 1 by decision. So this guy here, Rojo, is a finisher, man. He's been submitted 4 times though. He's well-rounded, aggressive. He loads up though in the shots. He likes to load up and just throw kind of wild. Kind of forces the technique too. Straightforward, walk you down, can get flat-footed. He slows on after first round because he goes in there and try to finish you. The guy has 8 by knockout and 6 by submission, and 1 by decision. So this is a guy that he just swings for the fences too and trying to finish you quickly, straightforward at you, pressure. I'm gonna go with Phillips for this one, man. I'm gonna say Phillips by decision, but I'm not confident because of the pressure from Rojo. I mean, I felt Philip won his last fight anyway, even though Ruland was pressuring him forward, but I felt like Phillips won that fight. So I'm gonna go with Phillips for this one, guys, and I'm gonna say Phillips by decision, and I'm not confident. There's a lot of fights that I'm not confident in, guys. This is a pretty good card, but the fights are. We have to take a look at the odds. The fights should be very close, if not even. We got Roxanne Modafferi versus Casey O'Neill. Roxanne Modafferi, I mean, we know what she wants. She wants the submission. She wants the ground. Her striking is, it has been getting better. You know what I'm saying? But it's mostly her ground, man. She really wants the submissions. And she's a very experienced person here. She's going to be the more experienced fighter here against O'Neill, right? Casey O'Neill is well-rounded. Shows a decent ground game, shows decent striking too. Keeps the pressure on you. She fights with a high pace and good cardio. It's like she just keep coming forward. The only way I see this fight winning by Modafferi if Modafferi get the submission. I mean, that's probably the only way. I don't see Modafferi winning by decision. I see more submission here. I can see O'Neill pulling off a decision though. This fight here, I'm not too confident because I do feel that Roxanne can win this fight if she can submit O'Neill. I mean, that's freaking possible, man. Because as I said, Roxanne is very, very freaking experienced, man. Even though O'Neill fought Chichenko, but I mean Chichenko is more of a kickboxer, MMA game. It's more Valentino is more of the MMA. I feel Chichenko, there's still holes in the MMA game. So this is a fight where I would be very careful, but I'm going to go with O'Neill though, just for the pressure, and it just shows that she has a ground and she can defend the takedowns. but Roxanne can get a submission here. So I'll be very, very careful. Very careful and very careful with this fight. But I'm going to go with O'Neal though, and I'm not confident, guys. Next fight here, we have Andrei Arlovski versus Gerard Vanderaa. This is a short notice for Gerard. Andrei is a veteran man with Pitbull. I mean, we know Andrei from way back. I don't know if you have to go too much into it. He's a well-rounded guy. Sambo can get knocked out, though. Been knocked out like 11 times, but he has improved on a lot of things. He has improved on getting hit. You know, using more footwork. He's like moving around in the cage more, avoiding the heavy shots. Yeah, I mean, and that's basically it. He's more picking his shots now. He's not just like going in there and just trying to swing well. And he's not trying to brawl with you. He's looking for openings, pop, 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 move, pop, 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 move, and that's it. Which is a smart fight for him, you know. Age is a number, but 43, you know what I mean? And so that is what he's been doing. He's been picking his shots and moving around, fighting more of a technical fight. So that is what's been working for him. His opponent here, Gerard. Gerard is more of a heavy hitter. He can get submissions, and he will look for the submissions, but he's also hittable. I mean, this is a guy where it's kind of like straightforward and just throw his hands, kind of brawl a little bit. Andrei's not going to go toe-to-toe with this guy. Andrei's going to move around and pop the shots. He's going to do what he does in all the fights that he has been winning in his recent fights. He's not going to stand in front of this guy, because if he does that, he could get knocked out. I'm going with Andrei here. I'm going to say Andrei by decision, but I'm not confident because, you know, Andrei, you know, like I said, he's been knocked out 11 times, but he's fighting smart now. You know, he's not just leaping in there and just brawling. So if Gerard, you know, land on his chin with something, you know, Andrei could get knocked out. So that's a possibility. But I'm going to go with Andrei for the win, and Andrei by decision, guys. Next fight here, guys. We have Nasrat Haqparast versus Bobby Green. Nasrat here, pretty well-rounded guy, skilled guy, have the wrestling, striking. The hooker fight, that wasn't him really. Like, I saw a couple of interviews of him. He says his mom passed away, had some issues. So, you know, his mind wasn't in the fight. You know, this is a guy where, if you look at him fight, he's a way better fighter than what you saw against Hooker. You know, usually when he usually fights. Like I said, his mind wasn't in the game. So his opponent here, Bobby Green. Bobby Green is light on the foot. Fights with his hand down, that kind of style, that kind of Philly shuffle kind of vibe he has there. Kind of roll the shoulders, avoid the shots. Has wrestling, very skilled guy, but can still get hit though. But like I said, he will use the Philly shell and the Philly shuffle, right? This is an interesting fight here. I do believe that Green can win this fight, but if the Nasrat shows up like who usually shows up, not the Nasrat that fought Hooker, the Nasrat that usually pulls off his wins and looks different than what he looks against Hooker, I believe he can win this fight. So, and he said it. He said he wasn't in the fight because his mom passed away. So I'm gonna go with Nasrat for the win here, guys. I'm gonna say Nasrat by decision, but Green can still win though, because he has the skills, he has the movement, you know, the timing, the counters, the speed. But I'm gonna go with Nasrat though. Next fight here, guys. We have Alexander Hernandez versus Renato Moicano. All these fights are all over the place, man. Hernandez here is going to have the wrestling base here. Heavy-handed, but he would drop the ball though, man. Let me see. If you pressure him too much and just like land strikes and aim forward pressure, he would just break under pressure. You can also take him down too, but He has a good wrestling base there, though, so sometimes he would defend it. His opponent here, Renato. Renato, BJJ black belt. Pretty well-rounded guy. Can get knocked out. And he doesn't really lose to just anybody. You know, most of the people that he losing to is like Fize, which Fize is a very deadly striker. The Korean Zombie and Jose Aldo, you know, and Brian Ortega. So, I mean, those guys are like all champion guys, you know, and Fize could probably be a champion too. If you look at Hernandez, you know, Thiago Mas, Jude Ober, then also Ronnie. I mean, I feel that the more skilled guy here is Renato. The more experienced guy here is Renato. So I'm going to go with Renato for the win here, guys. And I'm going to say Renato by decision. But I'm not confident because Hernandez has heavy hands. And if he lands on Renato, he could knock him out. Renato going to look more satisfied to the ground if he can get it there. But we see what happened though. I mean, this is a fight where you could see Renato getting knocked out. And if it does happen, it could be in the first round. But I'm going to go with Renato though. Not confident. By decision. Next fight here, guys. We got Gerard Cannonier versus Derrick Brunson. Blond Brunson. Blond Brunson. Oh, man. Gerard Cannonier, raw power guy, man. This guy has been looking good at 185. Very impressed with him. He has improved, especially at 185. Just a power hitter. Sharp, speed, timing. Been looking good when he lost to Robert Whittaker at 185. Derrick Brunson here, Blond Brunson, you know, because he's blonde now, he's been winning, like what he said, you know. So, from when he went blonde. Strong wrestling base, he's heavy-handed, very experienced guy. And he will find a way to win, man, like he always does. It's a tough one, man. I could see Cannonier knocking out Brunson, this possibility. But what I see from Brunson, though, I mean, from when he went blonde, he just seemed like a lot of stuff from him is changing up, even his striking. You know, he's not just so much with his chin up in the air anymore. And he's actually being more technical. You know, he's using the striking to look for takedowns, you know. And he's smart with it. He will clinch when he needs to clinch. And he will stay on the outside when he needs to stay on the outside. And he will close the distance, get a double leg when he needs to get it. Or put you against the cage and tie you up. You know, kind of get you tired a little bit. And then you go for takedown. I'm going to go with Blond Brunson here. I must say Blond Brunson by decision, guys. But this one, I'm not confident either because Brunson can get knocked out, man. And if Cannonier landing his chin, and Cannonier's a heavy hitter, it could be night-night. So, but I'm going to go with Brunson for the win. Brunson by decision. And it's only a 3-round fight. So, I mean, Brunson can have enough time to take him down, and pull off a win quickly. Brunson just need to get takedowns, that's it. Which he can. Cannonier's takedown defense has gotten better. It has. But Brunson is very experienced though, man. Brunson beat a lot of freaking guys, and he was beating them by knocking them out. Remember, Derrick Brunson was more of a guy that used to leap in with his chin up in the air and land the overhand. I believe it was the left hand. And he used to knock out a lot of people. But then after a while, he started getting knocked out. His chin was up in the air. So he does have a heavy hand, but now he's being more. He's being more technical, but he's being more strategic with it now than just leaping in like that. It's kind of like looking for openings and setting up stuff now, right? So I'm going with Brunson by decision. I'm not confident. Derrick Lewis versus Tai Tuivasa or Tai Tuivasa. Derrick Lewis here, man. I mean, heavy-handed guy, man. I mean, the guy has raw freaking power. If you go phone boot with this guy, most likely you'll get knocked out. He has raw power, natural power. So, I mean, he's a big dude too, man. Like a small guy in front of you. Yeah, man. I mean, from what I've heard, I watch all the interviews, guys. I watch all of the embed all of the press conference. I watched everything. From what I heard, Ty is gonna go toe to toe. They're gonna come and phone booth and see who can get knocked out. So if that's the case, which I think that's what's gonna happen, I'm going with Lewis, man. I mean Titus Tuivasa, yeah, he has power, and you never know. He may can knock out Lewis. He may catch Lewis and knock him out, and then this basically surprise everybody. But because he does have power, but it's possible, man. I mean, he knocked out Sakai, which Sakai is not really a guy that's easy to knock out. You know what I mean? But man, Lewis is a tough dude, man. He's a tough guy, and he's durable, and he's raw. Ty has raw power too, but Lewis is like, power is on a different level in my opinion. I'm gonna go with Lewis by KOTQ first round, but I'm not confident because both guys are big dudes and they pop power, and Lewis can get knocked out. I mean, it's not like he can't get knocked out. I mean, anybody chin that get touched up, just your face not meant to get hit, man. And if your chin is there, you get touched in the face, you can get knocked out, even if you have raw power. Like I say, if Ty go toe to toe, Lewis go toe to toe, and Ty catches him in just a sweet spot, then Lewis go out. That's it. And everybody be like, "Whoa, Ty knock out Lewis." So yeah, it's possible, man. But I'm gonna go with Lewis, KOTQ first round. Main fight on the card here, guys. We got Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker, part 2. Israel, very good striker here. He draws you in and look for the counter, usually off the left hand. 7 inch of reach, which is massive, and 3 inch of height, which is massive, man. Yeah, this guy has a good amount of reach, and his technique, striking is not bad. His ground game is still suspect, though. I mean, he can still get taken down. We saw from one. He can still get taken down. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a 5-round fight. What we saw in the first fight, Robert Whittaker was kind of leaping in too much, swinging wild, swinging for the fences, kind of leaving his face, chin up in the air, kind of burning energy. From what I see from off the training, he looks like he's been working more boxing now. He's more tightening up his boxing. What I think is going to happen in this fight is that he's going to use his boxing, maybe use a jab to close the distance, try to get deep in the pocket like boxing range, and avoid the left hand and then go for takedowns. He's going to work in the pocket more. Staying on the outside doesn't work for him because of reach advantage. So, and what he was doing, he was trying to leap in with overhands to try to catch easy. But when you're doing that, you're leaving yourself open because then you're just winding up and leaping in, and he doesn't have the reach. He doesn't have the reach to catch him like that. But if he can use his footwork now and just work off a jab and move in, and then it'd be different. Whittaker here is a well-rounded guy. He's a good striker. We look to wrestle and counter-strike. This fight can go anywhere, guys, to be honest with you. It could be the same outcome, but easy knocking out Whittaker. It's possible. But from what I've seen from Whittaker and his training and what he's been doing, even throughout his 3 fights here, he's more going to mix up in this fight. He's going to do more MMA in this fight. He's going to go for wrestling, go for takedowns. He's going to implement more boxing. He's not going to leap in too much. He's going to probably use the footwork, kind of close the distance instead of jumping in. Use the hands to move in. Even though he's going to be moving around, and he's going to look for takedowns. He's going to win off of points. I'm going to go with Whittaker by decision, guys. But I'm not confident because it could be the same outcome. You could get caught again. Anything's possible, man. All right. So I'm gonna go Whittaker by decision, guys. I'm not confident. Robert Whittaker's a smart fighter too, man. He usually when he loses, he comes back. He comes back and win, man. The guy, the guy is skilled, even though he hasn't really lost much. Yeah, well, lost to Stephen Thompson, but that was like 170. He moved up to 185 afterwards. Yeah, he hasn't really lost until he fought Israel Adesanya. He's gonna mix it up a little more in this fight, in my opinion. All right. Quick look at the odds here, guys. See what we're working with. William Knight plus 445. Grisson 165. Yeah, I feel Grisson is a better fighter here, man. And Knight missed weight too. Yeah, I don't disagree with the odds in this one. Yeah, but still be careful because Knight still pack power. I mean, that's basically I could see Knight is getting an overhand knockout. I mean, that's possible. You're gonna be more like a puncher chance. Wells versus Mike or Blood Diamond. Wells, yeah, that's what I see it too. I see Wells as being a favorite. I don't know if he should be this high of a damn favorite though, but I mean, it's not. It's just not much about Blood Diamond, man. And what I see from him, I'm just not that impressed. So I don't disagree with the odds in here. I think it's maybe a little too high, but I would be careful with this fight, guys, because I mean they're high on Blood Diamond, but I just don't see it. But I do believe that Wells should win this fight. Sergi and Douglas Silva. Sergi 210. I wouldn't have him so high because Douglas is not a bad fighter. Douglas is not a bad fighter, man, especially from his last performance. I'll probably put this fight more close, like 150. I give Sergi the edge, 150, 140. Close to even. You know, so be very careful with this one. Yeah, the odds on Sergi is too high. Aj Dobson, Jacob, even fight. I don't disagree, man. Some sides have Jacob as underdog. I mean, like I said, Aj Dobson is quick and pack mean power, but he's kind of green though, man. I feel Jacob is just more of a well-rounded fighter. So any fight that's even is great. Even fight, okay. Ronnie Lawrence, 300. I have Ronnie Lawrence as my confident pick. This could be my only confident pick. I don't disagree with this one. I'm kind of high on Ronnie Lawrence. Carlos, negative 265. I disagree with that one, man. You got Fabio as a big underdog here. I disagree with that. I feel Fabio, even though his last fights don't look too good, I feel like he's more of a well-rounded fighter. If he can avoid the striking from Carlos, he can get a win here, man. So I wouldn't have Carlos so high like this. It just doesn't make sense. The guy's mostly just a kickboxer. The MMA game is still in the works. And Fabio has more experience. But I disagree with the odds on this one, guys. Be very careful with it. Casey O'Neill, no way, man. The odds on her are too high, dude. And I give him Modafferi no respect here. And Modafferi is a very experienced woman. I disagree with this one, guys. Know what I see the odds on this? I'm not saying O'Neill can't win, but Modafferi, she can get a submission on this girl. And she's very experienced. Striking wise is not there. Speed probably might not be there either. But that doesn't mean she can't win though. You know. She still has experience. And there's a technicality, there's a technique to it. Be careful with this one, guys. Andrei Arlovski, Gerard. So they give Andrei Arlovski 150, 148. I like Andrei Arlovski, but be careful because just take one shot, man. His chin is, you know, you can say chinny, you know, even though he's been avoiding it for a while, haven't been getting knocked out, but still. A guy like Gerard is just a straightforward guy that will just go for it. You know, he doesn't care if he gets hit or not. So be careful with this one. Phillips and Rojo. Ooh, Phillips is freaking high as hell. Nah, I disagree with this one because Rojo's not a bad fighter, guys. I like Phillips too, but Rojo not a bad fighter. Phillips too high. Be careful. This here could be an upset. It could be an upset here, guys. Phillips is too high. Way too fucking. He's way too freaking high, dude. Totally disagree. Be careful. Renato 177. I put this fight more closer, man, because with Renato, striking has, I seem like it has a lot of hole in it and he can get hurt easily, you know, and you get dazed a lot, and Alex will come in there and start throwing. So this fight is more of an even fight. So I do believe that Renato, you know, he can win the fight. I have him winning, but he can also lose. And I believe that Alex, if Alex is going to win it, he's going to be knocking him out. So this fight is more of an even fight to me. So be careful with it. Bobby Green and Haqparast. They have Haqparast as underdog. Okay. Bobby Green, not a bad fighter, elusive, nice footwork, striking, not bad wrestling. You know, from Haqparast's last fight, he didn't look too good against Hooker. So, I mean, it's expected for Green to be the favorite here, I guess. I like Haqparast though. So, and he's underdog. So, I guess just be careful with this one, man. If you go with Haqparast, then he's underdog, then you know it's good. So, okay, Derrick, Brunson, Gerard, Cannonier. You got Gerard Cannonier as favorite? Really? Interesting. A high-end Gerard Cannonier for this one. He can't get a knockout though, but this to me is an even fight to me though, because Brunson could take him down and grind him out, man. So, yeah, I disagree with the odds in this one. This is an even fight. I mean, I do believe either guy can win. Derrick Lewis and Ty. Derrick Lewis 190. Okay, I mean that's not bad. The odds on him is not bad. I don't disagree with this one. Israel is obviously going to be favorite because champion and knocked out Whittaker, so obviously. That 280 though, 3. I mean, he finished him in the last fight in the second round, so you really can't say that, his odds are too high on him. I'm liking Whittaker though, so, you just, but I mean, whatever you're doing, if you want to go Whittaker, then it's on you, So that's basically it, guys. Fights I'll be careful with is Brunson and Cannonier, Green and Haqparast, Renato and Hernandez, Phillips and Rojo, Arlovski and Gerard, O'Neal and Modafferi, hell yeah, Carlos and Cherant. There's a lot of fights here that the odds are kind of off, man. Wells and Blood Diamond, I mean, Sergi and Silva, yeah. There's a couple fights here. The odds don't look totally off. Yeah, guys. That's basically for me, man. Those are my odd breakdown there. You guys, whatever you're doing, nothing definite, nothing guaranteed with my picks. Whatever you're doing with it, that's on your own risk there. You take your chances with that. Anything is possible, nothing guaranteed. All right, you guys keep on kicking. One love out to everybody, and